go ahead and try it this way. This is Resident Evil Talk. My PS4 also bit the dust. I'm just having the worst luck ever. But that's not going to stop me from delivering Resident Evil content to you guys, as well as other content. So that's why I'm here. Please give me a 2 if you guys can hear me. Hello, how's everyone doing? My cat Tomos has decided to join us. Alright, so I want to ask everybody, what got you guys into Resident Evil? Hello, how's everybody doing? I'm doing this live because my PS4 bit the dust, so I wanted to talk to everybody about Resident Evil and throw around some Resident Evil journal entry suggestions. Hey, how you doing? How's everybody doing tonight? So what got... Oh, it's fine. It's all right. So what got you guys into Resident Evil? Well, what got me into Resident Evil? When Resident Evil 2 first came out, I was playing it over at my cousin's house, and because it was so scary to me at that time, I didn't like it. Um, I was so bad I died in the first area, right where the semi truck crashes into everything. I died there. But shortly after that, it was during the summer, and I was buying one of my first PS1 games. It was Star Ocean: The Second Story, and I decided that I didn't give Resident Evil a good enough chance. So I went on ahead and picked up Resident Evil 2 right along. Oh, thank you for the subscription. I appreciate it. But right along with Star Ocean: The Second Story, I picked up Resident Evil 2 as well. And since then, I've been hooked. I'm definitely looking forward to Resident Evil Requiem when it comes out. And I'll be looking for journal entry ideas inside of Resident Evil Requiem as well. So, once again, what got you guys into Resident Evil? Was it Resident Evil 2 or scoffed Eddie Murphy looking? Hello, how you doing? Well, I think I can do a Resident Evil journal entry off of what happened with my PS4. I can do a journal entry where someone is trying to call for help outside of Raccoon City, and just as he is about to tell them what happened, the whole machine just dies down and it won't turn on again. I saw the original long box PS1 available at my retail at my local grocery store back in '96. Rented it for a weekend, picked it up again, and finally went to Toys R Us and got my own copy. Nice. That is nice. That's that's another thing I'm looking for actually, the long box original Resident Evil 1. I would love to have that in my collection. The Resident Evil 1s that I own currently are the Resident Evil 1 remake, as well as the Resident Evil 1 director's cut for PS1. This week I went on a vacation and got stranded, so don't go to an Airbnb. Actually, you know what? That is another good journal entry. Somebody goes to Raccoon City for a weekend and they get stranded there and they get caught in the zombie outbreak. Yeah, I could very well do that. So how is everyone doing this rainy night? It's raining where I'm at. Good, that's good. We need zombie chipmunks trying to eat. How would zombie chipmunks work actually? Every city has them, so it stands to reason that Raccoon City would have them. also Umbrella was doing all kinds of things with animals. There's just, I mean, I think there's just so much stuff that can be told right out of, so many tales that can be told right out of Raccoon City. But I also need to do um, tales from Tricell as well, from when Exceligione was in charge. And it's my cat Midnight. He's up to his old shenanigans. There he is, right there. So, are you guys looking forward to the new Resident Evil movie when it comes out next year? It's the one that myself and many others had been reporting on. The one by director Zach Krieger, or Kreger, I think. But I'm still of the opinion that that movie's going to flop. I'm not against telling tales outside of the original characters as long as you stay true to the original storyline as much as possible. But that doesn't appear to be the case with this one. But hopefully, my worries about this new Resident Evil movie will be laid to rest upon the release next year. I think the ideas for Resident Evil journal entries are unlimited. There are so many different angles and points of view. That's why I always enjoy your journal entries that you make. Thank you. Yeah, I think so too. There are so many tales that can be told inside and outside of Raccoon City. And I enjoy going through as many possibilities and angles as possible for the journal entries that I make. And that reminds me, too, of another thing that I've been thinking about. Claire Redfield, who was originally supposed to be Elsa Walker, I think that Elsa Walker could have been a character that could have been used as well as Claire Redfield. I mean, what I mean by that is keep Claire Redfield there, but also bring in Elsa Walker as well. I think her storyline would have been great to add in Resident Evil 2. You know, to have a trio of stories, or scenarios, I should say. Leon Kennedy, Claire Redfield, and Elsa Walker. I think it would have been great for Capcom to show us what could have been with Elsa Walker. And I think that Capcom would make some serious bank with her if they finally released her. But that's just my honest opinion. What do you guys think? Uh, Hello. We're talking about Resident Evil, as well as throwing around some Resident Evil journal entry ideas that I can do. I think you'd make bank on the hub. Well, thank you for that. Thank you. I was thinking about ordering some of those Resident Evil teas that I did a news segment about a couple of weeks ago. I would like to try the green and the blue herb teas. I think that those would be pretty good. If you go on my video about the Resident Evil teas that they're doing, okay, don't work too hard. I'll keep up the work on my channel. It's slowly but surely evolving and getting better. It's still a work in progress. But you have a good day at work and don't work too hard. Okay, see you later. I I heard rumors that the Code Veronica remake has all but been confirmed, and I will definitely be picking that up upon its release. But the only thing we need is a release date and actual confirmation. But I would like to also see a Resident Evil 1 uh remake. Now I know that some fans um say that the Resident Evil 1 remake should be left alone. I somewhat agree. I somewhat agree with that statement. Um if you can't do anything to top the Resident Evil 1 remake, then yes, it should be left alone. Oh, Albert Wesker's neighbor. Oh, okay. Okay, I think I can swing that one. Yeah, I can do Albert Wesker's neighbor. It stands to reason that he had a house in Raccoon City, so but I think that if they can't top the Resident Evil 1 remake that they already have, then it should be left alone. But if they can do what they did with the Resident Evil 1 remake, the way they did with the Resident Evil 2 remake, then I believe that one will do exceedingly well. But they have to go about it the right way. I guess I should say. For example, what's a good example? Like have different paths and add new ones, just like they did with the RE1 remake. I binged your journal entries working the night shift a year back. I hope they got you through okay. Yeah, I hope my journal entries got you through okay. Right now, I'm working on chapter 9 of Resident Evil 1. Oh, I'm sorry, Resident Evil Code Veronica. Oh my lord, I cannot speak today. I'm working on chapter 9 of this, 0 Hour. And I should have that released sometime soon. But are you guys looking forward to Halloween? I'm looking forward to Halloween. I'm planning on dressing up as Snorlax for Halloween. I'm glad that my journal entries helped you, and there's a hell of a lot more to come. Yeah. While I was at while I was at a video game convention, I had the pleasure of meeting the voice of Jill Valentine, Nicole Tompkins. Uh, yeah, talking to her was a great experience. She's a nice woman. I saw some I saw some AI art if Resident Evil was an anime, and I think an anime version of Resident Evil would do pretty good. For anybody that's just joining us, we're talking about Resident Evil and throwing around some journal entry ideas. Yeah, definitely would. They have a manga for a side story that takes place at a school. Oh, that I did not know. Yeah, that's something that that's something that I have to search for. I remember there was a Resident Evil magazine back in the 90s, back when KB Toys was in business. And I remember one magazine had Claire Redfield fighting Mr. X on the cover. I think that's what it was. But I do know that there was a Resident Evil magazine to celebrate the release of Resident Evil 2. And inside of those magazines were comic strips of the outbreak in Raccoon City, as well as Leon and Claire's adventure within the city. But yeah, that manga side story, that's something I'm gonna have to look for. And I can probably possibly get some journal ideas from there too. I just love creating these journal entry ideas. But my first journal entry, my very first one, was way back in the day, many years ago, when I think it's about a man who was working for Umbrella, or he was a fan of Umbrella and didn't believe what the stars was saying about Umbrella and about how they was involved with zombies and bioweapons. I did that one back on my I think I did that one back on a iPhone back then. I don't remember, but it was on a very, very old piece of tech back then. I could do a remake of that journal entry as well. The very first one that started the whole thing. You're the guy I listened to RE3 novelization during my cardio. That was badass. Well, I hope my novelization helped you and motivated you during your cardio. The manga was called Marhawa Desire, by the way. Okay, I'll look for that. I'm currently doing Resident Evil Zero Hour, and I'm working on Chapter 9, and that will be released sometime soon. Yeah, I bet there's a lot of content you could remake from your older days now that you're more experienced and whatnot. Yeah, I believe so too. I believe so too. I got um, I got my thumbnails up and running. I didn't have those before. You're the best, Kooky. I love the journal entries, and your Resident Evil 3 Nemesis audiobook was perfect. You do a great Nikolai voice. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad I'm glad it got you motivated. It's hard to get through cardio without something good to listen to. Yeah, it got me motivated. I'm glad it did. I'm glad it did. I hope you guys are also enjoying the Independence Day audiobook as well. I know I hadn't been releasing chapters from those books in a while. I've been busy, but with the holidays coming up, things should be dying down, and I'll be able to work on things a whole lot more. I was not a fan of Resident Evil 3 until I heard that. Oh, hello. Hello from Colombia. Hello. How you doing over there? I'll check out ID4. Yeah, ID4, man. That was yet another thing that bothered me until I gave it a chance. And the only reason why I gave it a chance back then was because Will Smith was in the movie. And back then, oh man, the majority of people, everybody was a Will Smith fan back then. If he was inside of a movie, you knew it was going to be good back then. I wasn't too thrilled about aliens coming to invade us. I saw the trailer how they destroyed the White House, and that bothered me. But once I went to go and see the movie, once I went to go, once I went to go and see the movie, I was hooked on it. I think I saw that thing about 5 times in the movie theater back then. I went with my family. I went with my friends. I went by myself. Yeah, it was a good time back then. I had did I had put some of my original ideas inside of my journal entries, such as Possum Woman, and somebody had told me that that should be explored more, and I think I'll go right on ahead and do that. Explore Possum Woman more, and see how everyone likes that. I'm also working on an audio drama, and it's just gonna be me doing everything. But I hope you guys like it when I release it. Let me put up the notepad here. Wesker's neighbor. Looking forward, brother. Thank you. Can't wait. Thank you. Notepad. Wesker's neighbor. Something tells me you should do a journal entry from the point of view of a house pet. Uh, what would the house pet sound like though? Wesker. Okay, there we go. Wesker's neighbor. Okay, we'll go ahead and put it up there though. House pet. POV. Okay, there we go. House pet POV. I mean, you could just give it an internal monologue that's basically human. Like Bill Murray. Yeah, that could work. Okay. Yeah, I got it down there. I got Wesker's neighbor down, and I also have house pet point of view. And that's my cat Midnight right there. He wants to join us. Just make sure it uses its smell and ears a lot more than its eyes. Okay. Okay, we could do I could do a dog as well as a cat. Yeah, Midnight is a beautiful cat. He gets on my nerves sometimes, but he's still adorable. Yeah, I'm sure that's with any house pet. They get on your nerves sometimes, but I love my fur babies all the same. After I'm done with 0 Hour, once I've read that all the way through, then I'll start with the conspiracy theory. or the umbrella conspiracy. I'm sorry. Yeah, my dogs are assholes, but you love them though. I just thought of another journal entry idea. Mayor Harris's secretary, or his assistant, or his driver. Mayor Harris had Mayor Harris had many people working for him, and he took a helicopter out of Raccoon City once the outbreak happened, leaving his daughter alone with Chief Brian Irons. I would also like to. I think it would also be cool to see some of my journal entries come to life. Um, Either by artwork or audio drama, or even an AI movie or segment. Yeah, I think it would be cool to see some of my journal entries come to life. That's pretty solid. Maybe have the driver drop off the daughter to Irons or something. Okay, yeah, 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 okay. Because it's never specified how check out Sora 2. It's the latest AI movie making app. Okay. But it's never specified how the daughter got there to Chief Brian Irons. But I'll go ahead and check out Sora 2. But I mean, admittedly, um, I'm sort of in between for AI. Um, I think AI should be used as a tool and nothing more. I mean, we don't want to be totally dependent on AI where we can't use our creativity that's up here. I mean, I think that humans should be primarily used for art, audio, video. Using AI as a tool um, to help you brainstorm, that's one thing, but becoming totally dependent on it, where you just get rid of the human, then that's that's not something that should be done. It's good to help with creativity, but it can overtake and do everything. It can, but it shouldn't be that way. Um, Being dependent on AI will mean dozens of people will, or millions of people, I should say, will lose their jobs and also be disheartened. You go to school to get your education for a field of your choice, and then you just have AI come along that can just immediately do it, everything that you went to school for. It will dishearten them, discourage them. What's the point in going to school to learn your craft if you can just have AI just come in and do it for you? And as I said, I mean, it's fine if you use AI as a tool, but don't let it replace the human. I think humans should. I think it's a bunch of people at Amazon just got. I think a bunch of people at Amazon just got laid off because of AI. Mm-hmm. And and it's not just Amazon. It's happening all over. I heard that Whole Foods is going to replace the human with robots. And Walmart has broached on the subject many times in the past. But just the other day, I was thinking about doing a journal entry for Dr. Light. And the Resident Evil, many people at my work got laid off. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope I hope your coworkers are able to find work soon. But in the Resident Evil remake, or Resident Evil 3 remake, I should say, you see a poster of Dr. Light and Dr. Wily, and I believe it's in the subway. I know it's subway somewhere in Raccoon City, and I would like to try to connect the worlds of Mega Man and Resident Evil within one journal entry. I've done it before, um, but I would like to see if, well, I would like to do a journal entry involving Rebecca Chambers as well as Dr. Light. Because as we already know, Rebecca Chambers as well as Dr. Light are both geniuses. And Dr. Light would approach Rebecca Chambers um, long before the train incident. He would approach Rebecca Chambers and talk to her about the idea of helping him out with his medical robot line. And because she is a medical specialist, she would be happy to be on board with Dr. Light. That would be awesome. Do you like the R do you like the RE3 remake? I thought it was actually good. To be honest with you, I wasn't a fan of the RE3 remake. I thought that they left out so much content. Um, in the original Resident Evil 3, I felt threatened by the Nemesis. With the remake, I didn't feel threatened by him at all. After I discovered that all you have to do is just chuck a grenade at him and then you get a box. I think the RE3 remake could have been so much better, in my opinion, had they not left out so much content, such as Lonsdale Yard, when you go into the graveyard and find that shack, and then you have the diner. I know that there was a diner in the RE3 remake, but it wasn't the same as RE3. And then they left out the choices. Same. I was really disappointed with the missing content from RE3. I also liked the encounters with the Nemesis in the original a lot better. Yeah, I did too because you had so many choices as well in the original. I was disappointed that Brad wasn't killed by the Nemesis. Jill never went inside of Raccoon City Police Department. She never went in there. That was another missed opportunity. You know, we could have finally got to see her interact with Marvin Branagh, and we could have seen Marvin Branagh apologize to Jill for not believing her when she and the other stars tried to get the word out about Umbrella. Because as we very well know, nobody believed them when they tried to get the word out about Umbrella. So when Jill encounters Marvin Branagh inside of the RPD, of course he would have been hurt, he would have been dying, but we could have gotten a heartfelt apology from Marvin Branagh about his disbelief when they tried to get the word out. But unfortunately, we'll never know. I struggled with Nemesis. And in which version, the remake or the original? I do like the one ability they gave Nemesis in the remake to in the attempt to make him more terrifying. I like his ability to be able to make zombies more powerful when he grabbed their head and put some kind of dome on them or some kind of bio monster on the zombie. I like that ability. It looked like some kind of brain sucker or something. I like that he caught a rocket. Oh yeah, yeah. I like that one too. I just wish that Capcom made Nemesis more terrifying than than he was in the original because when the remake was first announced, I was under the impression that Nemesis he was going to be more terrifying than he was in the original. But once I played the remake, yeah, I was disappointed like many others. But hopefully once I get my PS4 and 5 back up and running, I'll be able to do my live streams again. I'm just having the worst luck with my consoles right now. So now I'm down to I'm down to my PS3, 2, and 1, and I also have an Xbox One. So I'm down to those. Yay! I guess it's gonna be time to show some Xbox some love. Yeah, I do have Resident Evil 2 remake for the Xbox One. That I do have. What's wrong with your consoles? Well, I was playing my PS4 to get it ready for my live stream today, and then suddenly it just shut off and won't turn back on. And my PS5, it's stuck on safe mode only. I've had my PS4 for years and I've never had a problem with it until now. Oh man, I got that PS4 for Christmas back in 2016. At least it lasted me 10 years. I say 10 years because 2025 is almost over. So the better part of 10 years. At least I got a decade out of it. Speaking of which, that reminds me too. Let me go ahead and write this down. Communication machine dies. Okay, there we go. I would love to see. I would love to see. Oh, try power cycling your PS4. Unplug everything for. Yeah, I tried that. I tried that already. I would love to see a. I would definitely love to see a Mansion Incident adaptation of Resident Evil on the silver screen. I understand that they're not going to get every piece of source material onto the big screen, but if you listen to the fans as to what they want out of a movie, they will support you and your studio. You know, Sonic the Hedgehog movies prove that to us, and look how successful they are. That would be pretty amazing. I'd sit through a 3-hour movie. So would I. So would I. I would love to sit through a 3-hour Resident Evil movie. I would love that. I would love for them to take my money if they did that. To to see them go to the mansion for the first time after running from the Cerberus dogs, finding Kenneth being eaten by the zombie, to the hunter appearing for the first time, all the way up to Wesker's betrayal. Yes, I would love that. And another thing too, um, it could be it could be a four-part movie, and I say four-part because I recently came across a I recently came across a channel called Essence of Game, and he did um or they did. I don't know if it's a single person or multiple people, but they did a movie where the remaining stars members come back from the mansion, and it tells the story about what happened before the outbreak. And let's see. It's called Before Raccoons Fall, and the channel is Essence of Game. They also did a Resident Evil 3 movie where they incorporate the voices of Jill and everyone else. It's a good channel, and I recommend that you check them out. But I think after that particular 3 hour movie, I would also like to see a movie detailing events before Raccoon's Fall. I think that could be a good 1 to 2 hour, maybe even 3 hour movie. Sounds pretty cool. I'm definitely gonna take a look. Yes, yeah, take a look at them. It's a pretty good channel. All right, so for the journal entries, I've got Wesker's Neighbor, House Pet POV, and Communication Machine Dies. I'll definitely go through this live stream again. Maybe glean some ideas from here. I find that it pays to go through your old videos as well as to go through new ones. You never know what you've missed, and it's just always a good idea to go back. So what are your Resident Evil movie, or what are your Resident Evil memories? What memories do you have? Or what memories do you guys have, I should say? I know one memory that I'm very, very fond of. I started playing Resident Evil 1. Now, this was long since after I've beaten Resident Evil 2. And that was over at my grandmother's house. And I would always wait. I still wait during the night, or for the night, to play survival horror games. But she would always watch me play Resident Evil 1 once I started playing on the PlayStation. And every time I would come home from work, that was the first thing I would do, is I would play Resident Evil. And my grandmother, she would just sit over on the couch. She would watch me play because she gotten immersed in the storyline. And it also helped me get over the scary parts whenever she would watch me. Now, I remember when I gotten over to the part where the residents of the mansion, they would sleep inside of these cabins, inside of these shacks that was built specifically for them. And once I got there, my grandmother asked me if he found the other officers yet. No, Grandma, he didn't find them yet. He's still looking for them. Yeah, that's one of my fondest memories around Resident Evil. Yeah, that stayed with me ever since. But once I beat Resident Evil 1, she told me that's so sweet. Definitely a good memory. It is. It is. Once I beat Resident Evil 1, she told me that was a good story about the zombies and the lizard people, about how the other officer betrayed everybody. Yeah, I wish I could go back and relive that time. Yeah, that was way, way back in the day. I remember watching my stepdad playing RE1 when I was like 6 or 7 years old, and he surprised me by renting Resident Evil 2 the very next day. I think he beat disc 1 that night. Oh man, yeah, that is a good memory. Yeah. Another memory that I'm very back when I was playing um we had a friend back in the day that was very knowledgeable about Resident Evil 2. And so whenever we got stuck in an area, my sister and I, we would call him and we would have him we would have him come over to help us out. Now, at that time he lived in the neighboring town, but that particular town was in it was right next to our town. The town that he lived in was in bicycle distance of our town. So we would have him come over to help us out with areas that we couldn't get past or we couldn't figure out. Yeah, I remember whenever we got stuck in an area, my sister, she would be like, call your friend and have him come over and help us. And so that's what I did. Oh, it was such a good time back then. So good. We would watch him get the two ruby crystals to put in the chests of the statues before you get to the Star's office. Kill the alligator for the first time. And fight Mr. X when he first drops in to the RPD. Oh, speaking of which, that's another idea. Mr. X Umbrella Worker. There we go. Your own personal game facts. Yeah. Yeah, we still talk to him to this day. We still talk to him to this very day. That was back when there was no such thing as DLC. I mean, any DLC you had to find within the game, or you had to beat the game first. Then you would get the new content. Yeah, my cats are up to no good again. And they want to be part of the stream too. There they go. Yeah. But yeah, I remember Game Informer released an April Fool's on how to unlock Akuma. Oh, I never heard they even had they even had a fake picture. I believed it was real for so long. Oh, wow. Yeah, I never. Now that is something I've never seen. Yeah. Speaking of Game Informer, I'm glad they're back up and running. I'm very, very glad that they're back up and running. I thought about getting a subscription to Game Informer and having magazines delivered to my house. I'd like to have I like to have physical copies of things. But yeah, Game Informer back then was back when what's your favorite RE novelization? Oh, well, my favorite Resident Evil novelization right now is well, I have to say Resident Evil 3 or Resident Evil Nemesis. That one is my favorite novelization. Once I finish with once I finish with Zero Hour here, I'm going to go to Resident Evil The Umbrella Conspiracy, and then from there work my way up. That's the plan. Physical copies are the only way to go. I didn't know they had a magazine going again. Yeah, they have a magazine going on again. I saw it on my feed, and I think they are releasing a I think it's a 30th anniversary Game Informer magazine. I believe that's what it is. I saw it a couple of weeks ago. But yes, physical copies are the only way to go with all this digital only crap that they got going on, and then they can just come and take it from you whenever they please. But if you have a physical copy, then you decide when you want to get rid of it. Does it cover new, or I think it covers both. I think the new Game Informer covers both new as well as retro stuff. I have to take a look and see, because I was pleased when Game Informer came back. But I'm glad that everybody came in and enjoyed Resident Evil chat with me. I got to get going so that I can work on these journal entries as well as get myself something to eat. But I'll be releasing Chapter 9 of Zero Hour very soon. And once I get my consoles back up and running, then I'll begin doing live streams again. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. You have a good night too. Look into data reset for your PS5. Yeah, I tried that too. The only option that's available to me is the factory reset, the number 8 setting. But when I try that, it doesn't work. So my only other option is to send it to Sony and have them look at it. Something I don't want to do, but yeah, I don't have a choice in the matter. And then I got to get my PS4 repaired as well. So yeah, both of those are going to cost me a pretty penny, but I'll get there. I'll get there. All right, this is Kooky217 signing out. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night or day, depending on where you're watching. Take care, everyone.